Lindsay. Welcome to episode 4 of Office Hours. Today we are with the music department and we're going to be talking about music education, music ensembles, and both of our marching bands. So joining me today we have Nathan Windt, Associate Professor and Director of Choral Activities, Nick Enns, Assistant Professor and Director of Bands, and Megan Cooney, Director of Athletic Bands. So to start, Nathan, why don't you kind of just give us a little bit of a brief overview of the music department here at St. Ambrose?
Yeah, so we've got 5 full-time faculty here, and band ensembles, vocal ensembles, and orchestra ensembles. I think 2 things that we try to tell all of our prospective students. The first is that you don't have to be a music major or minor to participate. That's a really big thing. We actually hear feedback from students that they're hesitant maybe in that first semester to sign up because they think that it's only a music major thing. And we have, probably in all of our ensembles, almost 80 to 90% of our students are not music majors. But there's still that misconception. We want just everybody to know, whether they play band, whether they play in the orchestra, whether they sing in the choir, that they can join us, and we've got lots of different ensembles. I know we'll talk about that later. The other thing that's important to know is that we've got scholarships for all students. We're pretty competitive as it comes to similar institutions in terms of how we give out scholarships. They range anywhere from $500 annually to up to $4,000 annually, depending in part on financial need, but really also on talent. We're looking for talented players who want to be a part of our program, which is growing, want to be a part of musical excellence, and can contribute to our ensembles. We do have 2 automatic scholarships. One is for All-State, so if any of you out there have ever done like choir All-State, band All-State, orchestra All-State, it's automatic $1,000, no audition necessary. And then in our marching band, it's an automatic $1,000 scholarship just for signing up. So.
Awesome, well that sounds wonderful. So earlier this week we asked you guys to submit some questions about what you wanted to know about our music department, so we're going to dive into those right now. So our first question is for Nick, and it is, do I need to major or minor in music to participate in the ensembles at St. Ambrose?
And yeah, the answer is absolutely not. You, in fact, yeah, majority of our students are not majors, and I think that creates an actual feel and community, because you have friends outside of your major. I know there have been some study groups that have formed, they know there's a chemistry major in the trombone section, they'll go talk to them if they're taking a chemistry class or whatnot. So yeah, you don't need to be a music major or minor to play in the ensembles or to get a scholarship.
Great. Okay, so the next one is for you, Megan. A little bit about, more about scholarships, I'm sorry, and then what do students need to do to get these scholarships? I know we kind of talked already about how the marching band is one that offers the automatic scholarship. So how do students really go about that if they're interested?
Okay, so at least in my area, which is the athletic band area, if you play a wind instrument, so either woodwind, brass, or the drum line, so drums or color guard, as long as you want to be in our ensemble or part of our group, you get an automatic $1,000 every single year that you're in the group. There's no cuts, there's no auditions, no questions asked. You just show up and participate, and then you get a scholarship. Dr. Windt already talked about, we do have that also a $1,000 automatic scholarship for all staters. So for those of you, you know who you are, you're out there, you guys are great musicians, so we offer that as well. And then we also offer something called a music scholarship, which is through the music department. And for that, you will take an audition. It's typically somewhere between 10 to 15 minutes with a little conversation at the end of it. You should prepare something that you would use to audition for all-state or solo ensemble or any sort of solo opportunity. And we like to hear contrasting pieces, so something technical, something lyrical, and then we'll ask for a couple scales and some sight reading. And based upon how that audition goes and our need for your instrument or voice part, we'll make a recommendation to financial aid. And then, with your financial aid package and your talent on your instrument and all that, they say yes, no, and we're able to give you a scholarship for your ability.
Great. All right, next one is for Nathan. What type of music ensembles do you offer at St. Ambrose?
We've got within the choir, we have choir and band and orchestra. And I'll start with the orchestra and our string ensemble. If you play with a symphonic orchestra, the difference between that and what we offer here is it's just strings. So, full string orchestra ensemble. Some community members, but largely students. In our band program, we have our athletic bands, which include the marching band and the pep band. We have our symphonic band. We have a vocal jazz ensemble. Well, that's actually the vocal ensemble, sorry. The jazz band. I'm getting ahead of myself. One of the questions is like favorite. There is a lot. There's a lot of opportunities. The instrumental jazz ensemble. I think that's all of the instrumental stuff.
There's various chamber groups kind of pop up here and there. Like right now, I just came from a brass quintet gig they were playing at the Rogalski Center, but we had brass quintet and saxophone quartet. We've had a brass choir and woodwind quintet in the past.
Yeah, and then in terms of the vocal ensembles, we've got a large group, 2 small audition groups, and then a student-led group. Usually led by music ed majors, but not always. I mean, so we'll have talented students. I think last year or 2 years ago, one of the student leaders was a business major. Which, all of this is really kind of a unique opportunity for a school our size. These kind of student-led ensembles happen a lot at either like a large conservatory or at the graduate level. So the fact that we can offer it with some faculty supervision is really unique, and kind of like if you're itching to sing in a student-led group, or maybe you lead your own group. A lot of students that come to us they practice after school and they kind of organize that on their own. They can continue that here at Ambrose.
Great. Well, it sounds like a lot of opportunity for all different kinds of things. So to touch on the ensembles again, the next question is for Nick. Do the ensembles ever travel across the country or even internationally?
Yeah, all of the ensembles have traveled. This year in just 2 weeks, the symphonic band is flying over to Ireland, and we're performing.
To Ireland?
Yeah. So next Ireland. And yes, we're spending 9 days there, performing at their equivalent of a high school, but also some different colleges, including the Royal Irish Academy of Music. We're understanding we're one of the first groups that have been invited to play there.
Wow.
But yeah, last year the symphonic band went on a little run-out tour, kind of the Peoria area. I know that the choir 2 years ago, I went with them to Italy and Austria.
Yeah.
And Megan's taking the brass quintet to Chicago, and then the drum line has done a lot of run out concerts and exhibitions and.
Touring is important for us because it gives our students an opportunity to perform, and obviously it gives us an opportunity to reach out to you all and like see you in person, and you can hear what we sound like and why it's great to come to St. Ambrose. So that's a big thing for us, to get our students out, because it's win-win for the whole community.
Great. So for the Ireland trip, are you guys going to be posting on Instagram or anything?
That is the plan. We've been working with Craig, and he's going to turn over some of the Ambrose accounts to students to kind of post our progress and successes
awesome.
there.
Well, that will be in 2 weeks, so make sure you guys keep an eye on our university accounts for that one. So the next question is for Megan. Does the music department offer music lessons, and if so, in what instrument?
Yes, we do. Myself and Dr. Enns, we teach studio lessons, or have in the past. So at St. Ambrose, you can take lessons on whatever instrument or voice part that you play or sing. So if there's an instrument that you play, we offer lessons in that. We have studio teachers who are phenomenal musicians. Most of the time they're professors at other institutions or professional gigging musicians in the area, and all of them are really talented. So you'll take weekly lessons with them if you would like. That's actually tied into the music scholarship. So if you have a music scholarship through the music department, that audition scholarship we talked about, one of the requirements is actually to take 4 semesters of lessons with a trained professional musician. And that's actually kind of included in your scholarship package. And in your lessons, you just kind of learn the ins and outs of your instrument. So how to repair it, maintain it, tuning, and then extending your technique and facility. And then that directly relates to improving the ensemble sounds.
Great. Love to hear that. Okay, next one is for Dr. Windt. Does joining a music ensemble still allow students a flexible schedule?
Oh yeah, we have, sometimes it gets a little bit tricky, but I think two things about our scheduling are really great for students to be involved. The first is that all of our ensembles meet at different days and times. I think there's only one overlap that has to do with the jazz band and our student-led vocal ensemble. But for all the rest, 10, 12 vocal instrumental ensembles to have no conflict. Every once in a while, we'll have a really strong instrumental and vocal student who participates sometimes in 5 or 6 ensembles.
Wow.
So I think it's really cool. I went to a school that had kind of a block ensemble time where they all met, and that's great because it's fixed in the calendar, but the downside is you don't always get to choose what group you want to be in. Here, students don't have to make that choice. If they want to play in symphonic band, they want to do marching band, they want to sing in chorale, they can do all of those things. The other thing that I think is really great is that I tell prospective students we're kind of like college friendly. What I mean is our ensembles fit within their major planning. Chemistry majors, health sciences, history, English, education. And even in those moments where we'll have sometimes occasional class conflicts, we're willing to work with students to allow them to continue singing or playing in the ensembles while meeting their 4-year degree requirements. So I think we're ahead of the game in terms of being competitive and giving you guys a chance to sing or play without falling behind in your studies.
I'd love to hear that. Okay, so the next one, Dr. Enns, how many concerts does the department perform each year, and which one is your favorite?
So each ensemble performs twice a semester. They each have their own dedicated concert in the fall, and then we do what's called an Ambrosian, what we call Ambrosian Christmas, which is a big collage concert at Christmas time, where each ensemble plays a little bit. And then in the spring, again, two concerts. In terms of which one was my favorite, I don't know. The one I really started to like is at the end of the year, the bands do a band day at the band shell, where we, rather than our concert being here on the stage, we go down to the LeClaire band shell, or in this case, because of all the flooding, we're going to cross the river to Rock Island. But partnered with the farmers market here in the Quad Cities, and the opening day of the farmers market, after the farmers market is over, everyone just moves over to the band shell and listens to the concert.
Great. Love that farmer's market. It's the best. Okay, next one for Megan. How has the marching band grown since it was introduced in 2016 here at St. Ambrose?
It has grown a lot. So there's never been what we consider formal kind of core style or show style marching band ever on the campus. And I was hired to do that. I was hired to build this athletic band program. So it went from non-existing, so 0, to now we have at least this past year, 75-person marching band, so full instrumentation. We just added a color guard program. So the color guard program also is a non-competitive winter guard program in the spring as well. And then we also had approved the drumline has their own techniques class in the spring. And then we also have 2 pep bands, so it's quite extensive. And we cover all home football games, all home men's and women's basketball games, all home men's and women's volleyball games, and then we do some local parades and band day and things like that.
Great. There's actually, we just posted this morning on the feed for Bees of SAU, we just posted a really great video of the marching band from this past season. So if you guys want to go check that out, you can kind of get a taste of what Megan has built. Okay, so that is all the questions that you guys submitted for earlier this week. So we're going to wrap it up with some real-time questions. So this one is from TJ, and I think this should be for all of you. What is one of your favorite pieces you have played or rehearsed, and why? So I guess, Megan, we can start with you. Seems like a hard question to answer.
So, yeah. TJ is one of our drum majors. I would say my favorite piece to rehearse with my group is actually Jackson 5, I Want You Back. That's the first piece I ever introduced to my group, when we first got together. So anytime we play that or rehearse it, the band just loves it. So I think that's my favorite.
Cute. So it's a little bit of like a sentimental thing.
It's really nostalgic and they're way into it. So.
Oh, that's sweet. I love that.
I don't. Maybe whichever one I'm working on right now with them. I don't.
Okay,
that's a really hard. Yeah, because I usually find that things I really like about each piece. I'm sorry, that's a cop-out answer.
No, it's alright. It's how you feel. It's okay.
I'm glad that I got to go at the end because I got to think about this a little bit. I thought two things came to my mind. One is a song that we did last year called the Chichester Psalms that actually Megan played percussion with us, and just like rousing and upbeat and prayerful and contemplative and very challenging, but the students really enjoyed that challenge, really dug in and did really well. There's a song that we're doing at our concert next Sunday, 3 o'clock here in Allard. Hope you'll come see us. That's a spiritual by the American composer Stacey Gibbs, and we just did a Skype session with him on Friday. The students are really enjoying singing that, and today we were just talking a little bit about feeling. It's called Every Time I Feel the Spirit, and so we were talking about feeling the Spirit as they sing a little bit and moving and having some fun. So that I don't think this is a cop-out answer. I feel kind of the same way. Like whatever music I'm working on in that moment, like it's my favorite song, even if sometimes there are some songs that I don't always love, but in that moment, I love it. I love working with it and working with the students, yeah.
Great. All right, well, we also have one more special question from Michael. Any music planned from everyone's favorite rascal?
Yeah. So there's a in-joke here. The chamber singers occasionally sing a song. They sing songs
They caught you off guard. I'm live.
So Michael Arp is, Michael, if you're watching, hello. We miss you. It's good to hear from you. The Rascal refers to Francis Poulenc, a French composer, whose music is kind of quirky and has these weird accents that you don't expect, and they kind of come unpredictably, and then they're gone before you have time to really sink in. And I can't remember, 3 or 4 years ago, we were singing our first Poulenc, and I called him a rascal, and that they just like dug into that. They love it. So every time we sing Poulenc now, I say it's time to sing everybody's favorite rascal. So Michael, we're gonna try to get some Poulenc in here soon. And for those of you that don't know Poulenc, my favorite rascal, really great music, like quirky, great stuff. You should check him out. Poulenc, Poulenc. Yeah.
All right, that's some homework for you guys. So that is all we have for this week's office hours. Thank you all so much for being here and teaching us all a little bit more about how music is so special at St. Ambrose. All right, and thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.